What do you got going on over there, buddy? You digesting some print?
Mm-hmm. Checking out the news. Boy, look at that giant pumpkin.
What happened in the
Look
pumpkin?
how huge that pumpkin is.
Wow. Is that at the Pumpkin Festival?
That's it, probably.
They've always got big ones there.
Sarah's in the studio again this week. You took Rachel to the Pumpkin Festival in Milton, right?
Sure did.
Where she grew up. Did you see any pumpkins as big as a human being?
Absolutely. Ran up to it, just wanted to give it a big old hug.
People are really proud of their life-size pumpkins. They're Volkswagen Beetle-sized pumpkins. That's a big thing for folks.
How did
Slightly terrifying.
Yeah.
how did they get them so big?
Can you imagine rolling it as a jack-o'-lantern? Maybe she could crawl up in there if they cut that thing open.
Terrifying. It's not rolling at you like a boulder in Indiana Jones.
But you could go rolling. We're in West Virginia. It's a pumpkin.
That's true.
Oh boy.
Man, the news is just hard to talk about. It's depressing. Plus, this doesn't air immediately, so it's maybe old news.
A little timed, yeah.
But I tell you, would you be up for a Dear Abby column? I gave one to Andy last
yeah,
week.
for sure.
Or whenever that was.
Yeah, I think I would have said something different on that one that you
Really?
asked Sandy. Yeah, I think
About
so.
the slobbish dresser.
Yeah, I think I would have bought her a gift. Bought her a new outfit.
That was an idea that
like,
I had as
hey,
well.
I got you something to wear on the cruise, and I
We'll
think you
save
should-
it for this for the night that we're on the upper deck.
That's smart.
Yeah, I thought that Abby may say, like, oh, it's a special trip. Maybe you should gift her an appropriate outfit for the
Yeah.
event. That would have been nice.
That's smart. That's a more clever way of getting to the goal. Bravo.
What we got in there this week, buddy?
Well, here, okay, ready?
Yeah.
Dear Abby. We know what time it is. My husband and I have 2 children
Aw.
and live close to my family.
This is Danielle. Danielle has wrote this, but continue on.
What if we did one and we could tell she wrote it? So anyways,
It could be.
yeah,
We'll see.
my husband and I have 2 children and live close to my family.
Yeah.
We spend lots of quality time with them, and they are invested in our children's lives as we are in theirs. The same is not true of my in-laws. The first few years, I would FaceTime and call, trying to build a relationship. Eventually, I realized I was the only one making an effort, so I stopped calling, which means there are no more calls. No more calls, excuse me. The first cousin on my husband's side is due to give birth, and my husband wants to skip my nephew's first birthday party for her gender reveal party. My argument is they have put no effort into our lives or our kids, so why would we miss an event for people who do? His argument is that they don't ask for much and we see them only once or twice a year, so we should just go. Help! Easy decision in Ironton. No. Minnesota. Easy decision in Minnesota.
Gosh, that's a tough one.
How's that strike you?
Yeah.
Well,
That's a little deeper than most of the Dear Abbeys go, I think.
Family drama.
Yeah,
Oh,
family
man.
drama.
Hey, why you ponder your response? There's some pulled pork in the kitchen studio.
okay.
You know who made it?
I have no idea. I just assumed they got it from the pulled pork store.
My hero Austin made it.
Are you still his biggest fan?
Although you did try to orchestrate a plot against me to sneeze and then have everybody say bless you today.
That was not orchestrated. That just happened. It's
But-
allergy season.
It's okay.
Nothing a little pulled pork wouldn't fix.
Yeah. He can do no wrong.
No. Get out of here. Well, you know, why is things got to be so complicated? I mean, number one, here's what my guess is. I'll go first,
It's
okay?
have to be so complicated.
Number one, I would bet my bottom dollar on the fact this husband doesn't want to do the birthday party or the gender reveal. If I'm guessing, I bet he would rather take a beating than go to the gender reveal party or go over to the nephew's birthday party. Both of those are going to happen in the middle of a day on a weekend, probably the nicest day of the week, and they're stuck over there. So I'm just going to say that out loud. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. What he's hoping for is she'll take the kids over to the nephew's party. He's going to act like he's going to the gender reveal, and he don't go to either.
A second. Note to self: don't invite Aaron to parties on weekend.
I think what you do is you make something really important come up. Like you may make something else come up. Like
Getting a lot of head nods out here.
Third option.
I don't
have a
even
third
know.
option, so you can't do either, and then you can't feel bad about it.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's called Sunday football. Are you kidding me? That's
Or you fake being sick or something, and then
a little
just-
little spontaneous COVID.
yeah,
Oh boy, you know how
send them a little
quarantine is.
picture of a positive test, or like kids used to make fake puke in the toilet when they're
Yeah.
little to not go to school.
Make fake puke.
Well, don't worry about that. That's how I call off. Be quiet. Remember where I was last
What did you
Tuesday?
just throw food in the toilet?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you just like mix some food up and put it in the toilet and tell your mom you threw up so you
great.
can't go to school.
Yeah, no, this is working. What? I mean, seriously though, obviously, hey, congratulations, by the way. Gosh, we got so many layers of this. Congratulations on your recent marriage. That was a
Thank
big
you.
deal. We're excited about that. Sir William Sheils of Barbersville, a personal friend. Beautiful day, beautiful ceremony. Thank you for inviting us. Will said that originally you didn't want to, but you finally caved, so we appreciate that. I'm kidding.
We didn't know you guys really when we made our invite list.
That is true. We did.
So-
We had some people bump to get in there. There was like
Yeah.
an aunt that wasn't allowed to come because of us.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were like, guys, we found some more important people. I hope you
Exactly.
understand.
So that was really special.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does, yeah. And the fact that you let Jeff and I get up and do a song was really special as well during the ceremony. That was, I think a lot of people found that memorable was the word that I heard often. I'll never forget.
What was
I
it we
just saw.
sang?
Islands in the Stream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by Kenny and Dolly.
Yep.
Yeah, that meant a lot. The only
Yeah.
thing that was missing was Ben and Matt.
Yeah.
Get the
Well-
whole band up there.
We didn't sing at your wedding, but we would have had we been asked. I think we can agree to that, right?
I danced my shoes off that wedding. Tell you
I
that.
remember, yeah, Jeff and Sarah, you guys led us in a dance.
Big time.
Yeah.
Got my boogie shoes on.
At one point, I remember Jeff saying, I don't think they know how much space I'll need to dance. That's an actual quote that he said.
Do you feel like you had enough space?
I take up a lot of space.
Yeah,
I got a lot of big moves.
don't restrict this guy. I mean, so let's say that you do have to do this. You have two families. You're married now. I try to put myself in this position. Do you guys divide and conquer? You go to yours, I'll go to mine. Do you both try to hit both at the same time? Do you say, no, we're not doing either? Do you say, you're right, your family's better to us than your family is, so we'll just go to that one, and now you're going to be resentful? Like what?
Yeah.
That's a touchy subject, man.
I know, and you're the one that brought it up.
Well, you want to hear what Abby said? It's a short answer.
Yeah, I do want to hear
This
what
one is
she-
short.
I'm curious what she has to
She
say.
said, not only do his relatives not ask for much, but they give absolutely nothing. Rather than argue about this, attend your nephew's first birthday party and tell your husband to go to the gender reveal. Problem solved.
Divide and conquer.
Well, there's only so many options.
Isn't that going to make them like resentful at each other though? And
Husband and wife?
yeah,
Again, I
seems
just
like
can't
you
see
could come
him
to
caring.
a little better resolution. than
What
that.
would you do? We have Sarah in the studio today.
I would go, no matter if it was my family or Sarah's, I would go to the party where the people we had the relationship where they were nice, equal people in it, because it feels more like the right thing to do. I don't
Okay.
care whose family it is.
Well, let me say this: like in
And I would expect her to come with me and vice versa. If it was her family, I would believe she should expect me to come with her there.
Now,
How about
but-
that?
Well, but some families are like my family, for instance. They don't get together as often as Danielle's side of the family does. Right, so that doesn't mean they don't care as much. They just routinely we don't organize.
This isn't 1894. Pick up a phone and call FaceTime. They said that they used to. They give nothing to them whatsoever. I mean, if that's fine. I'm not gonna like hold a grudge or hate them. But if I've got somebody with other people that care a lot, and we have I'm going to this one, and I would say sorry, previous commitment.
Little Jimmy's birthday party is
You guys are over here being nefarious, making up third things to do.
Realistically,
I am
I
sort
think
of a
that's
white
great
knight on this situation.
You can't anoint yourself a white knight. That's not self-imposed white knighting.
Let's just say that I have the moral high ground.
Hi, Adria. Hey, who do we have in the studio with us here today?
My name is Adria.
Okay.
Fox, well, now Sheils.
Yeah,
So,
that's official. You picked up your card today,
yes,
right?
I did. Right before I came over here, I went over to the Social Security office, put in my application for a new card.
Yeah.
So the process has begun.
I see. Yeah. Or who you got on there? You have Adria Sheils.
Wow.
It's
It's official.
I was mindful of that. It is hard to get used to. Are you
It
finding
is.
it hard to get used to for just a minute?
It is. I mean,
bit.
for this long in my life, I've been saying I'm Adria Fox. So
Yeah.
Right.
I got to practice it.
Is it odd? I asked Danielle this one day. Like, is it odd to just change your name? I mean, that's obviously not a thing that I'm accustomed to doing. So, is it a like weird? Not
It
just
is,
like hard
yeah.
to do, but is it just weird in general to
Yeah.
go by a new name? I'd be like starting to call you Gary all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. I mean, I thought about it because a lot of people were like, are you going to change your name? Like, your last name's really cool. Like,
It is a cool name.
And-
Fox.
It's a good one. It's probably a lot easier to want to change it if you have like a terrible name.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my mom's maiden name was Crookshanks. So she couldn't wait to change it to Fox.
Okay.
But my last name was cool, so I wasn't sure. Like, I always planned on changing it, but I never really thought about it until people asked. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, do I? But yeah, I wanted to.
Why do women have to change their name, or not have to, but why do they expected to, and men aren't? I mean, is there any logical reason to this other than just kind of sexism?
I think it's just traditional. I was thinking about
just
that
tradition.
because we have to go through this whole process to change our name. I mean, it's work,
It's not fair.
and you got to pay for it too. So
I'm on your side on this. I mean, not that you didn't want to. I'm just saying in general.
yeah, we should start that trend. Maybe I should have made Will change his.
I feel like I'm losing the moral high ground.
No. Keep digging in there, buddy. Well, so that's awesome. So yeah, you work at Village Caregiving is what I heard in production this morning. Is that right?
It's true.
What do you do up there at Village Caregiving?
So my official title is the Director of Compliance Operations.
Wow.
I started in mid-August, and
Okay.
so far I've been working on building the training, which we are using for our caregivers. So been working with Jeff and Danielle and Andy a lot, working on building a program to train the caregivers and hopefully get that standard of care for all of our clients, and making sure that we're training people to the best of our ability and having a village caregiving standard even where there aren't any rules in the states that aren't licensed or anything.
Nice. So you're kind of fresh to the position. You're kind of filling it out. You're working with the compliance team. You've been working with operations, because that's in both of the names. I saw it right there. It says compliance operations. So
Yeah.
that's you're seeing a little bit of both worlds. But your background in nursing, right? You're a nurse. What was your background before you came to Village Caregiving?
I was working in the pediatric intensive care unit at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus. So It's a pretty big pivot from what I was doing before. And my goal was always to work with kids whenever I was in nursing school. I wanted to go to nursing school because I saw my little sister, she's 16 years younger than me. The day she was born, I remember seeing the nurse hold her up for the first time and thinking, wow, that's incredible. You get to work with people in the most amazing and then the most vulnerable and terrible moments of their life and just be there for somebody at all those times, the highs and the lows. So my first goal was to be a labor and delivery nurse, but throughout nursing school, I realized I wanted to do something with more skills and get more experience starting off. So I went to pediatric intensive care because got to critically think, see lots of different things, still work with kids. And then Will, my husband, who works for Village Caregiving, when we were living in Columbus, got the call from you about coming to take the opportunity in person at the home office. So I thought a lot about what I wanted to do whenever I came back, and I just saw how happy he was in his role and always kind of thought about it. I even just kind of joked about it. I was like, I'm going to go work at Village Caregiving. We just kind of laughed about it. Like,
Yeah.
He's like, no, you're not. Like, and the closer we got to moving back, I was serious. I was like, no, like, I think I really want to. Like, I just see the culture and how happy people are. And his sister, Anna, who works in compliance, she had come from the hospital and nursing and was super happy. I had talked to you that day.
Yeah.
At 1861, randomly, I was at the bookstore, saw the Village Caregiving team outside, and they invited me over to 1861, and Aaron was talking about it. And I just mostly got interested for the culture of it and just the impact that I saw you all were making in the community of Barboursville and Columbus too.
Yeah.
And so I met with Jeff at Oscars on July 4th because that was the only time we could find our schedules matched up because he was about to go out of the country and I was working night shift. I'd actually been fresh off night shift that morning. I drove back right after. I was really sleep deprived.
Those are the days.
Yeah.
But in that conversation, I just felt really valued. And we talked a lot about like the options that there were because there wasn't an exact position available, but talked about, I asked about what kinds of things you all needed, and you asked about what I liked and what my goals and strengths were, and we worked together to figure something out, and here I am. So I'm super happy here, and I don't regret it at all.
Awesome.
Well, I will say, do you know how lucky we are to have you and Will and Anna? I mean, you mentioned the people in your family. And I'm not just saying that because let's give the listeners the truth here, right? So both Adria and Will are Jaeger scholars at Marshall University. Do you know how prestigious an achievement that is? I mean, they're just like less than 10 per year, and they come from all over the world.
Are you asking me if I know how prestigious?
Do you know how
Of
prestigious?
course. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult
To
your
go,
intelligence.
as I tell Will all the time, to go to Chuck Yeager School of Learning is a big deal. Okay, that's not everyone gets to go
The
down.
Chuck Yeager School of Learning. I'm going to
Yes.
start calling it that.
Absolutely, very exclusive. Okay.
How glad are you that Will has to work with him every day and not you?
You know, Will, actually recently, I was asking Will about just like the funniest people that he knows. And first person he said
don't.
was Aaron. So
Yeah. Ha ha. All right.
He
Where was
truly
Aaron?
did.
Where was Aaron when he said that?
this
I was
is
signing
when,
Will's paycheck.
yeah, Will and I were in Maine when he said this. It wasn't even at the office.
He is pretty funny. No, but I'm being serious. To Barboursville, West Virginia, small town, and we're going to have to continue to attract and recruit talent. To have super talented people like you just kind of just move back home and it just falls right in the company's lap, that's crazy odds. I mean, that's like a God thing, universe just working out. It's so lucky to have you all. I mean,
Well, thank you. We're super happy to be here. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
You know, Matt had mentioned that recently at a meeting about some of the young, intelligent talent that has come in and the life that can breathe into departments. I think the creative energy that can come into that, the passion that can come in when you bring in young, very capable, intelligent people, and it has. I mean, there's been several folks added to the home office, you know, in operations, compliance, legal. And it is, and I see you all the time kind of working the different departments and talking and poking their brains about certain, how do you see this, or what do people from, you know, you'll do that with Chandler every once in a while. You ask Chandler. I heard you in a bathroom the other day tell a guy that you liked his hoodie, and it was a
Naruto hoodie.
Naruto hoodie, and you said, me and my buddy Chandler watch a lot of that.
That was out of town. I try to give a shout out to the Chan man whenever I can.
Yeah.
No, I like having a lot of younger people in the office because it keeps me younger. I've thought about this a lot recently. I mean, how much different am I as a person because I get to work around a lot of people in their 20s? You know, I'm in my 40s, but I love that. Think if I worked at some stuffy place downtown where all of my colleagues are 55 to 63 years old.
Your peers.
The conversations you're around are different. Oh, stop it. The conversations are different. The culture is different. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just I prefer, and I think it's fun to be surrounded by younger people that have this energy and a lot of life left ahead. I love it, and I think that it makes me happier at work and a little bit cooler.
Oh, wow.
Stay a little younger.
To make you cool.
Yeah, that's
Hip.
yeah. Your
Well,
job
I'm
is
trying.
to make Jeff cool. That's not hard to do.
I think it is super cool at Village, though, that even with different ages, I feel like everyone is just friends. Like the age doesn't matter at all. That I feel like we all just, I don't know. It's just not something that I pay attention to at all. And I think maybe that's unique when you get to adulthood. Like when you're in college, even, I think you still pay attention to that a little bit. But then afterwards, it's like, yeah, we're all friends. We can all learn from each other. It's not like, oh, that old guy I work with.
Yeah.
Like he's
See, now, they're very polite about it, but I am also aware of the other side of that. And I don't feel this because I do have a pretty youthful spirit or whatever. Let's say that Will and Adria and Chandler and Kate, they're going to go out, Anna, and they're going to like go to, have a night out, whatever.
Do what kids do.
Go to the club. Go, whatever it is. Go to a party.
Right.
And I was like, oh, cool. I'll come. Do you remember being at that age if a 40-something-year-old dude had been like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, Dad's coming. Sure. That kind of hurts a little bit.
Make sure you take your ibuprofen, Dad. I know.
But it's real.
I know.
no.
It's real. Okay, I got a serious question for you.
Okay.
You worked in an intensive care unit, pediatric no less. That's, to me, seems like you described it. It can be a tough job where you see a lot of hardships. Yet you are like literally the most positive person. You can probably see it during this podcast. Radiate like an inner glow and like a beautiful spirit, like just the way that you go through the world. Where does that come from? I mean, it seems like, I don't know, you've had work experiences that could have made you not that person because it's been hard work, but you're just so the opposite. How?
That's a good question. I guess it's not. Thank you, first of all. That's really sweet of you to say. And it's not something I've thought about too much about, like where that comes from, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like my mom is a super positive person, and my parents both are very positive, family in general. And my mom's seen a lot of hardships too. She's a middle school counselor. And I'd say probably like going through hard things or seeing hard things like that just makes you realize that you have to find the silver lining in everything, because if every day you're seeing hard things and thinking, man, this is just terrible, like how do we live in a world like this? Of course, there are times where you feel that way, but if you don't find that positive light, every day is going to be super difficult. So
It's a great answer. Yeah, thanks for sharing it. What is your favorite thing in the world?
my favorite thing.
Don't worry, mine is an onion.
Yeah, you asked this before on a podcast. And you know what? Danielle and I listened to that podcast together when we were going to Cleveland, and we talked about this. And we both decided it was more of a feeling. And I had two things. One would be hiking. And whenever you're hiking and you've gone on a really difficult trail, and at the very top, you finally see that view. And you're taking it in, and they're like, wow, I feel so small compared to this big and beautiful world.
Sun's come out.
It sure has. And then I think the other one would be that it's something called secondhand rediscovery. And it's where you show someone else something that you love. So you take somebody to some place that you've been to that you love, and you see it through their eyes for the first time. So I was talking to Danielle about how I got to see my friend in college go to the beach for the first time, and just being able to see that and experience it through his eyes was so cool. So I didn't think of like an object as much as a feeling.
Yeah,
And
that's good. I know that. You ever watch a movie that you've seen like 10 times with your spouse, but they've never seen it? It's kind of like you're seeing it for the first time again.
That's what I was going to say. It was maybe you or someone at Village Caregiving said that one day. Like, what's the one movie you wish you could go back and see for the first time with someone? And I'd never thought of that before. But I get that. Yeah, there's some like special things that like, I look forward to like showing my kids certain things in life or experiences that they've not had yet that I'll get to see them experience for the first time. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Danielle had a similar answer. She was talking about when you all took Pearson to, I think a football game maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. To see the Browns, I want to say.
I remember when we went to Disney for the first time with the kids. Stop it.
He doesn't want to talk about the Browns.
Stop it. It's been it could still be a good year. The first time we went to Disney, we didn't tell the kids where we were going. And I remember like Danielle was so excited about them seeing the castle for the first time. You know how hard it is to hide a castle from two kids? That's when you're near it.
Wow.
Thankfully, they're not super observant. So Pearson had no idea, but she was like so excited to round that corner on Main Street and for the kids to see the castle and realize that they finally made it to Disney. So those, that's really cool.
It's a good story, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe you pulled that off.
Yeah.
Where'd you tell them you were going the whole time?
Just vacation. I mean, they were younger. They were real little. Like, I mean, Pearson was, I don't know, 6, something like that. So, well, cool. So you're at Village Caregiving. You started your nursing career at one end of the age spectrum, and now you're working at the other end. We're in geriatric care. What has that transition been like for you?
Yeah. Even though I said that I wanted to go into pediatrics and work with the beginning of life throughout all nursing school, I always did love closer to the end of life too.
Yeah.
I used to volunteer at a nursing home and loved working with them. It's just neat to work. I enjoy the middle of life too, but there's something about the beginning and towards the end of life that I really liked working with. And I think something that is similar about both my experience in pediatrics and my experience in village caregiving is quality of life. So the population that I worked with was a lot of chronic or complex medically fragile kids. So kids who had trachs and were on ventilators at home, had G-tubes. And we talked a lot about quality of life.
Sure.
And ensuring that it was the best it could be. And I think that's important at the end of life too. And I think that that's something that has been similar in my transition, is just having that same goal of making sure that people are really well taken care of and they're living to the best of their ability. And I think that's why the training is really important and exciting for me, because we're having the opportunity to train caregivers really well and ensuring that they're making sure our clients have the best quality of life possible.
Yeah.
And really being well taken care of. So even though the population that I'm working with is a little bit different, I think the goals are still the same.
I think of it, when it comes to nursing, on any random day you're working the floor, you may have 2 to 4 patients, right? And if you do the math out on, if Will was here, he would love to do the math on this, but you do the math out on this, and how many lives are you really going to be able to physically touch in that time period? Hundreds, maybe thousands if you ever. But in what your role is now, you could impact thousands of clients' lives this year alone, right? Like the impact. So you're not at the bedside performing the task any longer, but the further you get away from that, the more that, so the quality of the training, I think the ability to implement these changes and put best practices in place can touch thousands and folks that you'll never meet, folks you'll never get to see in person, that are hundreds or thousands of miles away from where we are today. It's a unique opportunity. It's hard to see because you don't get to see Mr. Smith get better care because of something you've done in Barbersville, but it is happening, and that's a really unique thing, and it's something I try to keep in mind when we're doing these types of things. So.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about that same thing as well. Just the difference between having that relationship where I was with 1 or 2 people in pediatric ICU, it was usually 1 to 3 at most, being with them for 12 hours straight versus being able to create this training that has an impact on so many people widespread. So it's really cool.
Is that your parking pass?
Oh
no. Oh,
8 minutes to
8
go.
minutes.
Thanks, Val.
You still got time.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
I've interrupted a lot of beautiful answers with that timer, so sorry.
No, I appreciate the fact that you've never backed off of it.
I might get 2. I'm double down. Little known fact, I used to work in the ICU. Not work.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What'd
When
you
I was
do?
in high school, Our local high school required service hours to graduate. And my mom, as you know, is a nurse, and she worked at Cabell Huntington Hospital. And so that's how I got almost all of my service hours, is I would go down and volunteer on the ICU floor. It was the 4th floor at Cabell, right?
Yeah, 4th floor, up the ramp.
That's
That's
correct.
how you know I'm not
Would-
just making it up.
Yeah.
I started on 4 North at Cabell, which was outside the doors. So the ICU went up the ramp. I was before the ramp.
It was hard work, too. That floor is not a joke.
Oh yeah, especially there with the adults. What'd you think of it?
It clearly inspired you in the world of medical.
Well, it was hard. I was so young. I just don't think I really had the maturity to appreciate much about it, really. Rewarding, though. It was okay. There were parts I liked and didn't like. As
Yeah,
honest as I can
of
be.
course.
I mean, you know.
Yep. Yeah, that's where I had clinicals. Had clinicals on almost every floor
Yeah.
at Cabell.
Spent a lot of time there.
Last question for you.
Oh, okay. Is this one on the paper, or is this something you're pulling out?
It's on there. What is your favorite day of the week?
Easy.
It's easy.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, maybe Thursday. Not Friday, but Thursday, because Thursday you have all the anticipation of the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, you know, Fridays are usually, you know, I consider Fridays the weekend too. So, like, Thursday evenings are exciting because you have that full weekend ahead of you. Whereas Fridays, I would think would be most people's answer, but you're already, like, kind of into the weekend on Friday.
Okay, so it's Thursday. It's a great Thursday, your favorite day of the week. What does a perfect Thursday look like to you?
Well, you know, we are still working on Thursdays, which that can be a great thing too. And somebody asked me this question one time about like what the perfect day looks like for you.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting down and putting all of my favorite places and things together. And part of that was, you know, I love coming to work, don't get me wrong, but I think my perfect Thursday would be like waking up with the sunrise and going for a hike and seeing the beautiful views, going back, having a nice little lunch, like by a river. It's always nature. I feel like all of my favorite things incorporate nature. And then maybe like later in the day, I have a dinner with all of my friends and family, everybody's who's important to me. And then maybe that night we'd listen to music and tell stories and have a bonfire. Yeah, I think it would just be.
It's a great day.
That's a full day.
Yeah.
I think half the day she hung out with Chris Marr. He used nature as a verb the other day. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I watched that. I like that.
Yeah.
To nature.
To nature.
I'm gonna start
Just
using
as
that.
good.
That's actually, hey, we're still talking about it. You know why? Because it's a catchy idea.
It is.
Catchy.
Yeah,
He
I like
gets
it.
me every time. He'll plant a seed, and I'm like, I'm not letting that grow. I will not. And then it grows. And next thing I know, I'm naturing.
I'm
He's-
gonna start using it.
Chris Marr got me again. Well, Adria, either the most exciting or the least exciting part of your day will be what's coming next. Okay,
Yeah.
This is a segment that we refer to simply as the fishbowl.
That's right. Well, you know, we have a twist for you today, Aaron. I brought a fishbowl question.
Okay. All right.
So I've been thinking
Wow.
of some. I've been a longtime podcast fan, even before
Okay.
I worked here.
So, you know, I don't know the question either. It's,
Okay.
We did not make this to get you. She's getting both of us.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's been done before. There's been conspiracies worked against me on here.
Oh,
but-
100%. There will be more.
Okay. All right. there
So
will be more.
yeah, I've thought about some fishbowl questions, and
Okay. Throw
I
it
don't
out
know
there.
quite how this came to be, but yeah, I brought my own.
Yeah, I'm
so
comfortable.
I'm gonna say it like you,
Yeah.
Jeff, Aaron. Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Do you experience all 5 senses in your dreams? Like, do you smell, taste, hear, see, feel?
I have really, really vivid dreams. I've been told. I just went through life assuming this is how everybody dreamt. It's not. I mean, it's super real. Super real. Sarah's in the studio today. How real are my dreams?
I've been headbutted because you were playing soccer.
They can get, yeah.
That's interactive.
Question.
Yeah, that's
Like, I
interactive.
started crying. It was like a legit.
That's assault, by the way.
Hurt me too. We cracked our heads together because I thought I
too.
was heading a soccer ball
Oh my god.
in the dream. But no, I definitely hear.
You said like you gotten shot before and you like fell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The closest that I almost seriously, okay, look at him laughing at me, that I almost kind of got the sense of what it would be like to die was because I had a dream that was so real. I was trying to stop a robbery in a convenience store and I couldn't get the gun away and the person turned around and shot me in the chest.
Wow.
And it was so vividly real that I woke up like happy that I wasn't dead.
And you really felt like a
Yes.
See,
like
that's
burning
incredible to me.
feeling, yeah.
That you can actually feel that.
Yeah.
Like a big thing. Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you die.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Most people wake up before that happens, I feel like.
He stayed
Taste.
in there.
Taste and smell.
Yeah. Yeah. This is where this conversation came about because Will and I were talking about it and I was like, I don't think that I taste or smell in my dreams.
Well,
Did you
I
have
think
COVID?
that COVID dream.
Yeah. Oh, it got me.
I guess in my dream I must have.
One point of clarification. You mean like in the dream I'm smelling something or like I wake up and like I have to have actually truly smelled something?
I guess a little bit of both. So, you know, like in your dream, you get shot and you felt that, but it really feels like you did in your dream. Are you smelling something like you're baking a cake and you're eating it? Like in
Yeah.
your dream, did you really experience that taste and smell?
I think so.
They're all activated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I wake up like that and I'm like, ooh, cake. You know what I mean? But in the dream, it sure did feel very real.
Yeah.
No. I just
no.
no. They are. Yeah, I have apparently the like I don't know Dollar Tree version of dreams or something. I mean, they are discounted at best. They are pretty single layered. I don't wake up most times even like inspired or afraid of the dream. It just occasionally I'll have some feelings of dreams. I have had a couple dreams where this is boy.
It's about to get good.
Yeah. So there has been a time or two where you could convince me that I have either received a message or had an encounter that was purposeful in a dream. Now, whether that was an actual spiritual event or my mind just needed like, hey, give him one, throw that up there, and that'll get us through another week type thing. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I did have. I don't generally have like super realistic dreams though. They're pretty. Danielle gets very deep into the dream world.
Do you all
These are
have
just basic.
recurring dreams?
I don't usually, but I remember you saying that you do have recurring dreams.
Yeah, I've had some that I've dreamt since I was like 8 years old, and I will still have it 2-3 times a year. Same exact thing. And it's really weird because each one time it will go a little bit farther.
God, I hope
Really
you live long
expands
enough to
on
get to
it.
the end of that thing.
God,
Yeah.
tell me about it.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it a good thing or?
Yeah, I like those actually.
Okay.
There's one where I'm going through this massive house. It has a huge like basketball court gym in the middle of it, but then it turns into like a haunted house sort of a thing. And there's secret doors in every room. And I've learned over like the last 35 years of having this dream how to get out of each room and into the next room. But then so I'll wake up in like a new room every time. But it's like a video game. I get to go farther and farther into this thing. So that's actually really fun.
That's awesome.
I hope I have it tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's hope you do.
You're gonna.
You
pay
can't
more
control it,
attention.
though, man.
Well, eat those tacos or something, whatever gets you there. Yeah.
I'm resetting my parking meter.
Oh, good. Okay.
Perfect.
Did you bring one or do you?
You know, I only brought one.
That's okay.
So
No, we
I'll-
have. Yeah.
That was a
I'll
good
answer
one.
That was a great one. Yeah.
Bravo.
Maybe I'll add some more in there one day.
All right. Let me ask you this. I know this isn't something that's going to be a personal testimony to you, but I'm sure you have friends that have found themselves in such a situation. Why do you think people lose stuff when they consume too much alcohol? Oh, where's my keys? You know, where's the car?
Let me give a little more detail because
Yeah.
obviously
Where did those kids go?
you know the answer is because you just get drunk and stupid. I mean, that's why
Yeah.
you lose stuff.
Yeah.
But of all the things that you could do stupidly, just losing your wallet, phone, keys is like the number one thing. It just makes me wonder, is it that hard to hold on to this thing all the other time? As soon as you get drunk, you just lose everything.
Gone.
Not
Yeah.
me necessarily.
No,
No, I'm talking
I know
about the
you're talking-
population
yeah.
at large.
Like we have to be so focused on not losing things all the rest of the time that when we get drunk, it's like gone immediately.
Yeah, I had this thought because somebody the other day, I'm not going to mention any names, it's not even in village caregiving, but it was a different friend, lost their keys because they went out and partied the night before. I had to go pick them up and take them someplace. And it just kind of got me thinking, like, what happens as soon as you have a certain amount of alcohol, you just throw your keys in
Get
the
rid
air.
of
You
them.
just stop caring about anything. Everything becomes so hard.
I'm imagining it's like this meter. And when you drink so much alcohol, like really low at the meter is losing things. And then it gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Maybe
Felonies.
that's what it is.
Yeah, you
That's
drink
the
your well.
first thing to go.
So-
Even though it's an important one.
Not from alcohol, but are you prone to lose things in general? Are you
More than you would think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently, I lost my purse and I found it, but Julie, Will's mom, and I were going to Charleston to shop. Will and Chris were out golfing like 30 to 45 minutes from their house. We drove all the way out there to look for my purse, looked at my house, looked at her house, ended up being at my mom's house. So
Oh,
I
boy.
think I might get one of those tiles.
yeah? Where you
Actually,
can
I
track
have
it.
one. I just haven't set it up. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I am more prone to lose. I'm very organized, but I still do
Yeah.
lose things sometimes. I just get in a rush.
I'm very habitual. All of my stuff goes in. No, I'm not like OCD about it, but generally speaking, my wallet keys go in the same spot. My jacket goes in the same spot. Danielle is notorious for moving things. Okay, so the other morning I go in, I pull out my drawer to get my deodorant out, and it's not there. The only way it's not there is if I've thrown it away. I clearly didn't throw it away. So I know, no doubt, I did not set this somewhere else. So I go to Danielle and I said, "Have you by chance seen my deodorant?" She says, "Oh, I thought that was a one you didn't like, so I packed it for Pearson to go to your mom's house."
Oh, for Pearson to use.
Yeah, he wears deodorant now.
Your
Not my
deodorant, though.
brand. No. I could, from where I was, I could see two of his bottles.
How did you handle that?
Not well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not well. We're still a work in progress. It's been 15 years. But I just was so confident that I knew where it was. So it's very rare, but boy, when I lose something, it feels like my entire world has fallen apart. I'm like, where did it go? Because I don't know where else it could be because I always put it there. I went on the search for a jacket the other day, convinced someone had to have taken it because I only hang it here. And I had straight up just left that thing in the truck.
You ever lost your wallet or your keys before in your whole life?
No.
I've never done that either. I lost one little semi-billfold one time. I did lose my phone one time. And it was rough, man. I tell you what, that's a big deal these days.
Yeah.
I was in Spain, too.
I'm sure it had a passcode on it, though, for protection.
No pass.
Oh.
I'm still waiting to see what negative thing happens in my life as a result of that.
Did you find it or it's still somewhere in Spain?
Beach in Barcelona.
In the ocean somewhere.
Yeah, I may have got pickpocketed. Probably that.
I would blame that.
That way
Yeah,
I don't
that
have to
would
take
probably
any
be it.
responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Your question was much better than mine. Sorry, that was dumb.
I thought
that
it
was a good question.
Don't beat yourself
Yeah.
up. Jeff, you're doing great.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, you're good. You're good
Yeah,
at
you're
this.
doing great. Don't worry. I only had to come up with one. If I had to come up with like
Yeah, no one
10
could do it
for
like
weeks,
you.
mine
Yeah.
would not be good anymore.
The best in the business.
Thanks, guys. It's really nice. I'm back.
Well, Adria, we really do appreciate you coming on. We appreciate everything that you do at Village Caregiving. We appreciate that you let us hang out with Will on occasion as well.
Of course.
But hopefully, I think we can definitely just do this again soon. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Well,
sounds,
awesome.
sounds great. Thanks
Well,
for having
cheers.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Oh, we're